if you're missing something, I took the time to write it out. If there's a 0, that means it's either missing from your little packet or it's blank. If it's got any points, it just means it was incomplete. Okay, so it's there, but you didn't finish it, right? And I was very, very explicit, told you exactly what it was. So what do you do if you want those points back? Because you can get 50% of your points back if you would like them, which I'm sure you would. So let me just make sure, because I feel like there's still people that aren't utilizing Canvas. And I do put everything here for you. It's a pain to record a video for my 2 different classes. It's a pain to send it to YouTube and have it turned into a link that then I upload to Canvas, and then I take pictures of all the notes, upload those, or email them. I mean, it's a process. I don't mind doing it, but I do it for you guys, all right? So use it. It's there for you. You know absences happen. Maybe you got behind on an example, whatever the reason may be. So when you go to, and so if you guys can look, I don't know, Jace, if you can see from that far corner, but when you go to my Canvas, it's very basic, and I've shown you this before, so I know I'm repeating myself to some of you. You just click on modules. This big button here, it's the same as the modules button over on the side. And when you go there, guys, I always put our most current module at the top, okay? Everything we've done, by the end of the year, there'll be like 13 of them. Will be at module 13 will be at the top. So module 1 is done, so that's why it's pushed down. So module 2, whatever one is at the top, that's the one we're currently in. And you just click on resources, and I keep it very organized and up to date for you, okay? These are all links that you can click on by date, okay? So you know you're absent on 9, whatever, or if you're looking for a certain section. So for this student, she doesn't have 2.1 day 2 notes. So what she needs to do is go to 2.1 day 2, click on it, and she can find the notes there, okay? If she needs, maybe she didn't complete them all, I went too fast, she blinked and missed it, I don't know. But then you can see the homework and all that stuff. If you also missed the whole lesson, or it was a really tough lesson for you, for example, there's a video of me teaching the lesson, okay? You can click on that, and it's just a view of this right here, and it's me teaching it. I didn't pick some crazy video off of YouTube or whatever. It's my, how I taught it to 4th period that day, okay? So that's always there. I don't leave until I upload this stuff for you, okay? So today is the 9th. After this class, I'll upload the video, our notes, the homework, the key, and everything. So this is there for you guys to use anytime you're absent and or you need to catch up. Because every Monday, I'm going to collect the week before's stuff. So over the weekend, if you missed something or you didn't finish Thursday's homework or whatever, you can go in there and find it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you told me that. Sometimes, we don't know why, and I don't know who we are, but people in the world that I have to talk to all the time about this stuff, technology stuff, they say that Pinellas County schools will all of a sudden block YouTube. There's a way around it. So guys, if you know, so thank you for telling me that, guys, and that makes me proud of you that I know that you're actually using it. Does anybody know how I can find my handle? Here, where would my handle be? I have a handle. Last year, this kid was like, do you do that so you can make money off of us? I'm like, I didn't even know you could make money off of YouTube. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is what you would need. So I will try to get it unblocked, but sometimes it's blocked for whatever reason. It's not something I do. I don't know. So you can go directly to YouTube. It's just, and then you can just find me this way. So Tracy Moore, so you might want to write this down, you guys, in case it happens to you. 3365. So that's my handle. And I'll put it over by that schedule, so when you leave, you can take a picture of it, okay? Yeah, I'll put it up there. So listen, guys, just know that when you go in here, this is a mixture of my pre-calc ones and my algebra ones, okay? So you would want to think about where we are, or when you click the pre-calc notes look completely different from the Algebra 2, Algebra 1 notes, so you would recognize if you clicked on the wrong one. Okay, so hopefully it's like the most recent one on there. You would choose between, oh, one of these is Algebra 2, one of them is pre-calc. Which one do I want to do? Okay, all right. So that's that. Thank you for telling me, Gab. So I will put this. How do you spell YouTube? Yep, I said that. I always think it's going to be like a U. So when you leave, if you want to take a picture of it, it'll be nice. Okay, so guys, utilize it. It's there for you. It's there for you. Okay, so please, please, please. All right, everybody should be working on this. Circle one or more. So it's asking which ones of these have an x-intercept of 2 and a y-intercept of 6. I don't want you waiting for me to do it. So, Alan, here's what I was trying to say to you. When you look at maybe 6 times 8, but once I got into it, it's like 6 times 7, then 57, 5, 7, 6, 7, 7. And then it goes, it just flips out, it's 86 and 71. I don't know why it's all on board. I'll take the time off doing it. It just keeps it moving and moving. But don't change anything in the book. Alright? Come back and check. This is I'm going to have to like unstaple it and rearrange all your papers and stuff like that. So yeah, do me a favor, guys, and don't change the order of your papers. Just the order you ripped them out in, leave them just like that. It'll make my grading and all that stuff easier. Okay. So I'm really going to be pushing you guys to be doing some stuff on your own. I just want to get going here, so I'm not going to look. But really, guys, you can't keep just sitting and waiting for me to go over stuff. You have to try stuff on your own, and I can't always call on the same people, okay? So just understand, as we get deeper into the class, we all have to get a little bit more comfortable about participating, okay? All right, so which ones of these functions up there have an x-intercept of 2 and a y-intercept of 6? So show of hands, did we think A was one of the choices? Yes? Good. Yeah. X-intercept is 2, y-intercept is 6. A is one of our options. Okay? How about B? Anybody think B was one of the ones? Nope, it's opposite, right? X's are 6, Y's are 2. So B would not be one of ours. Okay? How about C? No, there's a lot going on there, but it's not this. And how about D? Close. Y-intercept is 6, but an x-intercept of -2. So that one only had 1. Okay? So when you see that, it's telling you could have more than one answer, so you have to check them all. Okay? Who wants to tell me which ones are linear? B and D, yes, B shall B and D. Remember, just lines. Linear function makes a line. Okay, so B and D, we did have 2 answers there. Good? Yeah? Anybody have a problem with either of those? Something that's going to help us with our notes today, which are just a review of really yesterday, is don't forget, if you have to write intercepts as ordered pairs, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. If you have to write a intercept like a point, okay, it's super important that you know who the 0 is. So it's easy to identify, like you know in an intercept, I think you know, maybe not, let me go make sure I go over that. One of the numbers is going to be a 0. It's always going to be the opposite letter. So x-intercept, y is 0. In a y-intercept, x is 0. that's good to just kind of know, like, your name. And then, of course, this would be 2, and this would be 6. Okay? And that makes sense, right? This is 2, 0. This is 0, 6. Right? Okay, so understand, this is something that when those pages that I collect from you next time, on Monday when I collect from you, this is something I'll be looking for, okay? I keep a little Post-it note of everything we do throughout the week, and then when I get your packets, I painstakingly turn every page and I know what to look for, okay? So that would be something I'd be looking for. All right, let's go to page 91. I know a lot of flipping. We're getting used to working with these books. So everybody go to page 91. So I think you guys are going to think this is pretty easy today because it's a review of what we did yesterday. So there's not, I don't think there's anything really new, which is nice. Okay? So, you know, we can't be intimidated by word problems. And being able to read a graph as it applies to a word problem is a really, really important concept in this class. Okay? So, guys, when I'm teaching you this stuff, please take it in. That you know I'm going to be checking in your notes, like, to give you points. And so you can ignore me pretty much and be writing in what I'm writing and get credit for the notes. You could even copy some of my homework and get credit for the homework. But are you learning this stuff? And remember, when this year is over, we all have to pass this class to graduate. You don't want to keep taking Algebra 1 as a junior, as a senior. We have seniors, not in this class. There are seniors that are in their 3rd year of this class. Can you imagine having to sit through this class another year? Like, it's not, and they will never give you the same teacher, which might be good or might be bad, but if you didn't do well with me, they're going to have you go with somebody else, okay? Because maybe it was me. Maybe it's my fault, you know? So we're here anyway. Let's just learn it and get it done and be done with Algebra 1. Because geometry is a lot easier than Algebra 1. And you need that to graduate too, okay? Comes after this class, but it's easier. Okay, so the graph shows the number of people, which is the Y, at a gym, X hours. Okay, so here we have, this is quadrant 1. Understand, this is a graph, but it's just this quadrant, the positive quadrant. Positive X's, positive Y's. Most word problems just use quadrant 1. And always take a second to kind of digest what it's telling you. This is time in hours, and this is number of people at the gym. Okay? So let's identify our x-intercept and our y-intercept. Okay? Sylvia, do you know what my x-intercept would be? Yes? Yes? How do I write it as an ordered pair? Yeah. And then what's my y value? Yeah. Okay? Remember, x-intercepts have the opposite letter as the y value. Okay? How about y-intercept? Do you raise your hand for that, quick, Colin? No, not in the middle of notes. You cannot go to the bathroom every day in my class, guys. You've got to use other teachers. You've got to go in other classes. Y-intercept would be right here. So I write 20 right here. 0, 20. Okay? So really important. Y-intercept, the opposite letter is 0. Okay? So those are our intercepts. I think we're really getting intercepts. Good. Which statement, and it has an S, so that means there could be more than one, so you got to read carefully. Which statements describe the meaning of the x and y intercepts in the context of the situation? Select all that apply. All right, so being able to pull the intercepts off are great. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle is, what does it mean? What do they represent? Okay, so if we look at choice A, Max head up, there were 20 people at the gym when it opened. Okay, so when it opened, what would the time have been? Right, not 8, right? It doesn't open at 8 hours in. This is saying when it opened, there were 20 people. Think about it. There are people waiting to get into the gym. So they open the door, 20 people come in. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, there were 20 people when they opened, which would have been 0. Did the gym close after 20 hours? Well, the time only goes up to 12. So I would say no. Okay? Does it make more sense? Look at the next one. The gym closed after 12 hours. Yes, after 12 hours, there were 0 people there. 12 hours. So it closed after 12 hours. Were there 12 people at the gym when it opened? That's actually a trick question. Because there were 12, right? There were more than 12. There were 20. There were 20 people there. Remember the first choice? There were 12, but we're not getting into that. So no, not that one, not that one. And there was no one at the gym when it opened. No, there was 20 people at the gym when it opened, so it couldn't be that one either. So it's just A and C. Okay? So not hard, right? But being able to look at a graph and pull numbers off of it, but also information. Okay? Next page. Also, equally important in math is being able to look at a table of values and interpret it, okay? So I'm going to read this word problem to you. Violet starts the semester with $150 in her student lunch account. Each day, she spends this much on lunch. So every day, they take $3.75 out of her account. The table shows the function relating the amount of money remaining in her lunch account to the number of days Violet has purchased lunch. So let's pause and look at the table. So our inputs, our x values, our domain, all 3 words can be used. X, domain, inputs are our number of days. When she starts, and then y values are your amount of money, the balance in the account, how much you have left. So when she starts, before the school year, for example, her mom puts $150 in her account, okay? And then every day they subtract $3.75, and they give random days, right? At 10 days into the school year, that's what she has left. 30 days into the school year, that's what's left. And then after 40 days, what does that 0 mean? She's out of money, right? So being able to kind of look at that and understand. Now let's answer questions after we just went over it. Find the intercepts. The x-intercept is where y equals what? Quick, what is it? Good, Jace, 0. An x-intercept is where y equals 0. So what is the x-intercept going to be? Jace, you're like butter. You're on a roll. Tell me, what's the x-intercept going to be? Where y is 0, x is, with your table, 40. When y is 0, x is 40. Do you see that? Right here. It's easy to find intercepts in a table of values because they're the ones that have zeros in them, right? Intercepts will always have a 0. The y-intercept is where x is 0, right? Y-intercept is where x is 0. So when x is 0, y is 150, right? Okay, so just being able to pull that off. Now, the x-intercept means that after buying her lunch for how many days? So where's my x-intercept again? That's where y is 0. This is my x-intercept. Nope, yes, sorry, yes. Where y is 0 is my x-intercept. Where x is 0, sorry, on my little staple here, that's the y-intercept. So the question is, the x-intercept right here means that after buying lunch for how many days? 40. Is that you, Hannah? Thank you. Yes. The x means after buying lunch for 40 days, Violet will have, keep going, Hannah, how much money will she have? 0. 40 days, $0 left in her lunch account. Or it will take Violet 40 days to use all of her money. So there's different ways you could have worded that. And it's important to know that, like, when we get to the homework, you're going to have to give an explanation. There's more than one way of saying it. And there's just showed you 2 ways of describing that ordered pair. After 40 days, she has 0 money, or it's $0, or it took her 40 days to get down to 0. Like, there's more than one way of saying that idea, okay? And the y-intercept means that Violet's lunch account has, okay, y-intercept, her lunch account has how much money? 150 after buying lunch for how many days? No. For real. You're going to have to do all this online on your own. What? Okay, and just give me 1 second. So guys, remember, you can't jump from 150 to 40. We're talking about this ordered pair. 150 and 0 go together, not 150 and 40. So I was talking to Max, but I thought I heard some people say 40 days here. So again, the Y-intercept means that Violet's lunch account has $150 after buying lunch for how many days? 0 days. Okay, so you can't like start moving things around. Maybe I heard it wrong. Okay, another way of saying that is another way of saying that is the beginning balance of her lunch account is, what's the beginning balance of her account? 150, right? So if they're talking about days, it's the X values. If they're talking about the money, it's the Y values, okay? So what I need you guys to do is try this one. It's just like pretty much the one above. Take a second. I'm going to come around and make sure everybody is trying. Remember, you can make mistakes. It's okay. When I'm done with the notes, okay? Which is very soon. But guys, it's like the same 3 people want to go to the bathroom every day. We cannot keep using my class. I don't think you went yesterday, though, Grace. Pass to clinic. Make sure you sign in like you did last time. Don't forget to take a picture of the candle. You snatched that out of my hand? Okay, so guys, so as she received a gift card to the movie theater for her birthday, the table shows the amount of money remaining on her gift card, Y after X trips. Okay, so let's look at the chart. Inputs, outputs, X's, Y's, okay? Number of trips to the movie theater, amount of money left on her gift card, okay? So it's easy to find intercepts because they have a 0 attached to them, right? If X is 0, which one is this one? Is this the X-intercept or the Y-intercept? It's the Y. Remember, it's always the opposite. And when the Y is 0, we know that's the X-intercept. We don't have to graph it to know that. We can just know that now by looking at it, okay? So what's the Y-intercept? There it is. You guys just told me 0. Is that a 9? Yeah. Okay? Find the X-intercept, and then we're going to interpret that. Okay, so we already know the X-intercept. We just talked about it is, I'm sorry, did I do that backwards? No. Okay, X-intercept is 10, 0, right? We just grabbed it right off of the chart. And think about it. Which one of these, and it's only one of them, does that mean? 10 trips, $0. So there's 2 choices here that have 10, 0, right? We already know that it's got to be either A or C. That is the X-intercept. Is that our initial balance on the gift card was $10, or after 10 trips, there will be no money left? Sorry, guys. Thank you for being patient. Which one is it, A or C? C. Good job. Thanks for waiting patiently and being so sweet. You guys are the best. Okay, notes are done. Homework. Classwork. You know what I mean. So page 98, 2.3 day 2. So this is the kind of stuff I keep track of. So next week I'll be going to page 98 and seeing if you have these 4 problems done. If there's work to show, that's important, okay? You can see I don't try to overwhelm you with lots and lots of work. I don't assign 1 through 20. I don't. I really am mindful of your time. So if I pick them, they're important, right? So 12 and 13 are just what we were just doing, like looking at the intercepts and giving an answer as to what that means, okay? Just like what we did. Stay with me. I'm almost done talking. I'm going to shut my mouth in a second. 14 and 16 are on the next page. And I need you guys... Nope. Oh, my pages. Where's 14? 98. Okay. 14 and 16, I want you to... Where's my book? Sorry, let me grab it. What you're going to do for 14 and 16... Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. Taking up your time and I'm getting all nervous about it. That's not it either. It's right here. Sorry. Okay. You're going to do, for 14 and 16, you're going to use the same, ignore the directions that are there. Cross them out. And I don't care if you write out the directions, but this is what we did yesterday, where you identified the x-intercept, the y-intercept, where the graph is positive and where the graph is negative. So if you go back and look at a couple pages before, these are all the types of problems we did the day before. Wherever they are. Okay? So yesterday's homework, 1, 3, whatever the problems are that I had you guys do, same exact one. So you can go back and look at those if you need to, or yesterday's notes. Okay? So 14 and 16, you're identifying those parts of the graph. Ignore the directions. Okay? Now, of course, I have a key. I will put it up, but not for a little bit. I want you guys to be trying, asking for help, working together before I give you the key. Okay. Really good. Say it again. Right. You ask every day, and I told you can't. Every single day. Yeah, you do. Is it an emergency? You can't have an emergency every day. When he comes back, and don't ask tomorrow. We're going to go a couple days with you going in other people's classes or between class. Go between classes. You can't keep missing this class. All right. I'm going to put up my answers. These are one way of describing it, okay? Don't just copy it. If you just copy mine, it's a little obvious. Okay? But that's kind of what happens. What is the X? You know what the Y is. Nah, don't worry about it. He's fine. I got it. Remember, we've had this talk. Don't worry about other students. Don't worry about it. My job, not yours. Don't worry about it.